Hi, I'm Erin from Cottage Designs by Erin on Etsy. Today, I'm going to tell you how you can open your very own Etsy shop in 2021 and probably do so for less than $20. Etsy is an excellent source of extra income, and I would recommend it to anyone that has the heart, passion, or desire to start their own online store. My store began in 2012. My sales don't reflect that I have been on there as long as I have, and that is simply because in 2014, my father had a stroke. He was bedridden for 2 years, and so I took those 2 years off from Etsy and didn't really work like I should have because my whole focus was to spend as much time with him as possible. Since Dad has passed away in 2016, I am now working Etsy, I would say a little more than part-time. I'm still not able to quit my job and work it full-time, but I am able to make quite a bit of money on the side. So I want to talk to you about a few things that you need to know in order to be able to start your own shop. If you'd like to grab a paper and pen, I even have notes for you to take. Okay, so to open your own Etsy shop, you will need a few things on hand that very minute that you decide to open it. Okay, these things include an email address, a username, a password, bank account information, and a store name, logo, or brand. Okay, so why do they need your bank account information? You have to be paid. So they will have to have access to either direct deposit in your checking or your savings so that your money can go in as soon as you sell something. All right, next, you have to have a store name or brand. This is very, very important and significant. You want your store name to represent what it is you're trying to do, but at the same time, be easily found. In the past, I've had stores such as Thoreau's Cabin, where I sold primitive handmaids on Etsy. No one could spell Thoreau. No one could do a search for it. And honestly, the traffic was not very good in that store. Did I sell items? I absolutely did. But I eventually changed my store name because it wasn't going as well as I thought it should. Next, I had Romantic Designs. Okay. My personal style is a mix of shabby chic, French country, and cottage. So I needed something to reflect all that. So I thought that was a beautiful name. I had a beautiful logo. Guess what? Nobody could find me because that name did not encompass any one particular style. And so they were passing me by. So the next thing I had was Erin's Originals. And I had a little bit of everything like I do now in my online shop. But again, no one could find me because they didn't know how to spell Erin, Erin, Aaron, Arin. I mean, there's a multitude of ways. And also that name, again, did not reflect any one particular style. So I switched to Cottage Designs by Erin because I feel that my personal style is most closely related to the cottage style. And I've had great success with that. Okay, so after you select your store name, you're going to want to buy a banner that represents your look. Okay, I don't recommend going with something super trendy. Pink, black, and white polka dots, already out. Turquoise and brown, already out. Okay, you need to pick something that will stand the test of time. My first logo was a beautiful aqua and pink, which represents the cottage style that I'm into. However, it was very floral and it looked like it belonged on a floral shop. Okay, so it didn't really work. So my new logo is now 2 sewing machines, one on each side, or it might be one in the middle, depends on which item I'm using. And it's black and white. Black and white is timeless. It's got a little bit of pink in there, which I love. And I feel that it most closely represents me. So how do you buy a banner? You're simply going to go on to Etsy and you're going to type in store banner, and you will go through the thousands and thousands and thousands and try to decide which color scheme and which style best represents you. I typically buy my banners from Curious Crow. I've never had any trouble. You pick out the font, you select the colors. They usually have it to you within 2 weeks. It's a digital download that you keep on your computer and you will have indefinitely. Now, realize the store banners that you're seeing on Etsy, everyone's buying them. So yours has to be a little bit different than everyone else's. You need to change the font. You need to change the color. Even if the design logo is the same, no two shops should look the same because you should each have your own unique thumbprint on that design. Okay, so now we have the banner. We purchased our spot. How do you know if the store name hasn't been taken? Okay, you need to go onto Etsy and you need to go into store search, pretend you're a shopper, and say you want to open up something called the Pink Polka Dot. Then you need to go into store names, type in Pink Polka Dot, and see if that name has been taken. Etsy has, I don't even know how many stores, so a majority of the stores will be taken. So Unique, taken. So Deeply in Love, probably taken. Okay, you're going to have to be creative with your name and your logo. All right, so you need to make sure that the store name has not been taken. Once your store name has been secured and you bought your banner and you uploaded it, you're ready to take your first picture and write your first description. Okay, so you're going to take a picture. There's all kinds of tutorials on Pinterest in particular that tell you how to take the best pictures, and that's a whole separate video. So I don't really have time to go into that, but you're going to take a picture the best that way you know how to represent your item, and then you're going to write a short description. I was a creative writing teacher, so this came in handy for me writing my descriptions. You need to say, for your consideration, is a doll dress 18 inches long, made to fit, blah, 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 in such and such size, specific fabric, color, style, size. You need to go into as much detail as possible. Pretend that you're reading, hopefully you're not too young to know, but pretend that you're reading a catalog description out of Sears and Roebuck or Victoria's Secret or any type of catalog description you can think of, to where you are going to specifically describe that item. I make and sell a lot of doll clothes. So when I do that, I need to tell which doll was the dress made for, which era, what were the specific sizes, lengths, fabrics used, trims used, and you need to set your item apart from everyone else's item. I make Jenny doll dresses for the cute little 8-inch Jenny doll from the 1950s. I'm not the only person that makes that, okay? There's a lady on Etsy that sells them for $7.50. There's a lady that sells them for $42, okay? The same size dress, all right? So you have to stand out either in your pictures or your description or in the way that the overall product is displayed. Okay, so after you take your picture and you write your description, you will upload that. Etsy will charge you 20 cents to run that item for, I think it's 6 months. Now, I'm not 100% sure about that, but I believe it is 6 months. And then after 6 months, you will have to renew that item. Okay, so you're excited. You've got your first picture up. How many items do you need in your store? As many as you can possibly list. Okay, when someone goes to your page and you've got 3 items and that's all you have, they're going to look at that and they're going to be like, Hey, if you're just starting out and that's all you have is 3 items, that's fine, but you need to build, build, build. That means every single day you need to upload items. Your store should always have, I feel, a minimum of 100 items in it. Okay, that way then it looks like you have quite a bit to pick from. To the left-hand side of your store screen, you will be allowed to set categories for your items. Okay, I like cutesy, catchy kind of titles. So my categories are Heavenly Home, where I have items for your home. Lovely Linens, where I have strictly just linens. I have a children's quarter. I have a glam glass corner. I have a divine dolls section, because these are the things I'm into. Okay, so I also have a section for sewing supplies. that people can buy directly from me from my shop. So you need to figure out what are your categories going to be and how do you want that to look. Do you want them to be all lowercase, which I personally don't like? Do you want them to be all uppercase, which grabs your attention? And I think there's room for 20 possible store categories. Okay, so now we have taken our picture, we've written our description, we've uploaded it, we set our store categories. What's next? Lo and behold, someone is going to buy what you have. And that is the moment. And you're so excited because, hey, you might have made that with your own two hands. And you're super pumped that somebody spent their hard-earned money on your item. Now what? Okay, you need to have a designated shipping area in your workspace. So in my sewing room, I have a little shelf. On that shelf, I have poly mailing bags. I always keep several Sharpie markers. I have address labels, business cards, all that kind of thing. But when I first started out, I didn't have all that, okay? You will find that postage is very, very costly. So you don't want to ship things in boxes. Boxes become way too heavy, way too expensive, and it's typically not the best way to go unless you're shipping something larger. If you're shipping something that cannot break, I strongly suggest polyvinyl mailing bags. So I have one here to show you. I'm going to cover up my customer's name because this is actually going out tomorrow. So these polyvinyl bags can be purchased on eBay. Notice that I have my little handy dandy store label up here. These bags also have an area where you can write the actual address so you don't have to buy separate address labels. All right. So now you have carefully wrapped your item. Go to a little extra trouble. Go to Dollar Tree, go to Dollar General, buy a package of tissue paper for $1. Hopefully it will match your poly mailing envelopes. Yes, I'm that person. Because you're presenting an image. These people will never meet you. They will never see you on the street. All they know is what you send them. So when I send a doll dress, I carefully fold it. I don't want it to get all wrinkled and crumpled and rumpled and smashed. Okay, I don't want the sash to be all flat when it gets there. Okay, so I usually, if it's a little bitty miniature dress, I put it in a Ziploc baggie with anything else that goes with it, the panties, the hair bow, all of that is in a bag. So it's in a bag. So it cannot receive water damage. If my poly mailer rips, it's not going to probably fall out because it's in there. Okay. Inside that Ziploc baggie, I also put a business card because, hey, listen, you're going to want feedback for your store, which is another whole conversation. That feedback is how you build your business. And if you just throw something in a bag and it's rippled, broken, wrinkled, crumpled, and they get that, they're not going to leave you good feedback. One bad store feedback can just blow your store out of the water. So you really need to go above and beyond. Okay. So we have it ready, bagged up. The item is ready to go. It's beautifully wrapped in tissue paper with everything you need with it. Now we're going to go to the post office and we're going to send it. I send everything the cheapest way possible because it's expensive. And so unless somebody asks me to send them something priority, I always just go standard shipping. I do, like I say, carefully wrap it. At the time of checkout at the post office, you will be given a receipt with the tracking number, or if you ship out of the country, you will also be given a customs number. As soon as you ship that item, I mean, the minute I get back to my Jeep, I am uploading that information. I go into manage orders. I click on there, item has been shipped. I select the date. I upload the tracking or the custom number, and I take a picture of the postal receipt and send that picture to my customer so they know I'm not lying. It really was sent on this day. If you need to follow it, here is your tracking number. You need to go to USPS, type in that number, and follow your package. Now, the only time they would actually physically have to go to that website is if I accidentally type the number in wrong, because they can track their package from Etsy. Okay, so now you've done your part. Hey, you shipped it timely. I always ship everything in 2 days. All right. In the summer, if I'm really getting a lot of orders, I might change my store setting that says I ship every Friday. So that way then customers know when to expect their item. I watch that package after I mail it. How's it progressing? Okay. And around Christmas, it's going to be late. Indefinitely. It's going to be late. Okay. So you've got to get it out as soon as you possibly can, or you're going to have angry customers, even though you do not control the postal system. All right. When it says in tracking that item has been delivered, I'm on it. I am now messaging my customer. Hi, I see that your item arrived safely. Would it be possible for you to leave me positive feedback in my store column? Or could you possibly go into feedback? And now they're not going to know how to do that, especially if they're elderly. They don't know what they're doing. So you also need to typically write, I'm so glad your item arrived safely. I'm trying to reach X number of positive reviews in my store. Could you possibly leave me a review? It would be very helpful. Here's what you do. Go into your account purchase history. You will see a picture of the item you bought from me. Click on all stars and leave a brief sentence. Honestly, you have to tell them, because what they'll do is they'll respond to your email. Oh, Erin, I love the dishes. They were so beautiful and nothing broke. I'm so happy. We're going to use them every day for the rest of our lives. Okay, that's great. I'm happy they're happy, but it's not helping me because I can't share that review. They are the only ones that can share the review in the appropriate spot. So you need to make sure that you have follow-up with your customers. Okay. So, I know this was a lot of information in less than 20 minutes, but here's what you got. Everything you need to open your store, including email address, username, password, bank account, store name. We talked about how to brand your item. We talked about how to pick a store banner or logo. We spoke about how to upload the best quality picture, just briefly. I'm going to do another video about that. We talked about how to mail your item, what you should mail your item in, what you should mail with your item, how to upload tracking, how to follow up with your client, and lastly, you should follow your financial information on Etsy. Your payment, once you have established a history, it will go in there that day or the next day. Okay, my suggestion is to open a separate business bank account. I started with a savings account, but I ran into problems with that because when I need to buy more fabric or I need to buy more thread, I was taking money out of that savings account, which then hurts the interest on the account. So my suggestion is save, 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 save. Be a little miser. Save, save, save. Do not get into this business account until you absolutely have to. Wait until you have $1,000. Once you have $1,000, go to the bank and tell them that you would like to open a business checking account. Okay, it should be free. You do have to have a minimum of $1,000 to open it, but you do not have to keep a minimum balance in there. Okay, my first set of checks was free because my bank is very generous. And that way then, I was also given a debit card. So yay, when I go to Hobby Lobby, guess what? I use my business debit card so I can track my expenses to that account. Okay, so I have a couple little slides on here to show you what you might need and where you might go for things. Poly mailers, I would suggest buying them on eBay because you can buy them in bulk for the least amount of money. I also have on here where you can buy labels, the sewn-in kind, the sticky kind, where you can buy your business cards. So at a later date, once you get rolling and you have a little bit of money, buy your business cards with matching labels that match your poly mailer bag. Okay, be that person. Be matchy-matchy because guess what? That makes the best personal image. Okay, stores to check out on Etsy that I love, 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 love. Polka Dot Rabbits, or the Polka Dot Rabbit. It is children's clothing that is custom made. It is to die for. And the store I'm absolutely amazed by is Cupcake Cutie Pies. Cupcake Cutie Pies is a mother-daughter team, And they make American Girl doll clothing, and you will die when you see how much money they're making and how beautiful their store display is. Feel free to go check out my store, Cottage Designs by Erin, and see what I do and see what you would do differently, because we're not all the same. Good luck in your Etsy store, and if I can be of any help to you, please reach out to me on Etsy, Cottage Designs by Erin, or on Facebook or on Instagram, or watch my new videos to follow this one. Please subscribe to my shop, Cottage Designs by Erin, on YouTube. I will help you any way I can because I was once a beginner too. Have a good day.